Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has completely turned the glamorous world of the bold and the beautiful upside down. What started as a tangled love triangle has now escalated into a violent, near-fatal encounter that no one could have predicted. With jealousy, obsession, and long-held secrets erupting into chaos, one character lies bleeding in the street, another is on the run from the law, and yet another, long thought unpredictable but redeemable, has made the ultimate sacrifice. In today's shocking chapter of this iconic CBS daytime drama, the line between love and madness has never been more dangerously blurred. Luna has crossed that line and there may be no turning back. It began with a slow, simmering feud between two women on opposite ends of Will Spencer's affections, Luna Nozoe and Electra Dominiciano. Luna, once seen as a sweet, determined young woman navigating her way through the inner circles of Forrester Creations, had recently begun to show alarming signs of emotional instability. Her interest in Will, son of the powerful Bill Spencer, had transformed from a playful flirtation into a dangerous obsession. Despite Will being in a serious relationship with Electra, Luna's resolve only hardened. She convinced herself that Electra was standing in the way of what she saw as a destined love story, one she believed had already been written in her mind. Her conviction twisted into something darker. Luna could not accept the idea of Will choosing anyone but her. And slowly, the idea took shape if Electra were no longer around. Will would finally be hers. The animosity between Luna and Electra had been building for weeks. Electra, intuitive and fiercely protective of what she saw as hers, began confronting Luna more directly. Their arguments became increasingly heated, filled with veiled threats and sharp warnings. Electra made it clear that Luna's constant proximity to Will was not welcome, and that there would be consequences if she continued pushing boundaries. Luna, instead of backing down, responded with venom, barely masking her hatred. In her mind, Electra wasn't simply a rival, she was an obstacle, and one that needed to be removed permanently. Fueled by this growing fixation, Luna took a horrifying next step. She sought out an illegal arms dealer and purchased a handgun, one she kept hidden beneath her clothes, close to her body, as if nurturing it like a secret. This weapon was not for protection. It was a tool for transformation, the key to erasing Electra from the equation and claiming Will once and for all. Luna rehearsed her plan silently, waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity when Electra would be alone and vulnerable. That moment came on an otherwise quiet afternoon. Electra had left a fashion fitting early and was walking home alone through a secluded street in Beverly Hills. It was one of those rare, peaceful moments she rarely found between work, social obligations, and constant media scrutiny. But from the shadows, Luna watched. Her pulse raced. Her breathing slowed. The gun in her hand felt heavier than she'd expected, but her mind was sharp and focused. She believed this was the final act, the one that would liberate her from torment and finally open the door to the life she imagined with Will. Luna stepped onto the sidewalk behind Electra and called her name. Electra turned, startled to see Luna approaching. Before she could react, Luna raised the gun, her hands shaking, but steady enough to aim. For a brief second, time seemed to freeze. Electra's eyes widened in disbelief, her mouth parting in a silent gasp. But before Luna could pull the trigger, another figure appeared out of nowhere: Sheila Carter. Yes, Sheila. The same Sheila whose name conjures chaos in every corner of the bold and the beautiful universe. Unbeknownst to Luna, Sheila had been following her, having grown suspicious of Luna's increasingly erratic behavior. Whether Sheila acted out of genuine concern or curiosity remains unclear, but what is certain is that in that split-second moment, Sheila threw herself between Luna and Electra. The gun fired. A loud crack echoed down the empty street, and Sheila collapsed to the ground, blood spreading rapidly across her torso. Electra screamed, falling to her knees beside Sheila's body, hands trembling as she tried to stop the bleeding. Luna, now horrified at what had just happened, dropped the gun and fled the scene. Panic overtook her. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Her plan had never included Sheila. But now the gun had been fired. Sheila was down, and Luna, already carrying the weight of past crimes, knew the consequences would be swift and unforgiving. Electra managed to call 911. Her voice was frantic, barely coherent, but the message was clear. Within minutes, sirens approached, and paramedics arrived on scene. Sheila, though severely wounded, was still breathing. She was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, and as the trauma team worked on her, the reality of her act of sacrifice began to sink in. Electra sat in the waiting room, clothes stained with blood, hands shaking as she replayed the scene over and over. Sheila had thrown herself into the line of fire. She had saved her life. Word of the incident spread like wildfire. Within hours, the Spencer, Forrester, and Logan families were all scrambling to understand what had happened. Will, hearing the news from a police contact, was in disbelief. Luna, the woman who had once seemed kind, lost, and misunderstood, had attempted to kill someone. And that someone had been Electra, a woman he loved. A woman who had just barely survived because another had taken the bullet meant for her. Meanwhile, Luna was on the run. The police had already issued a warrant for her arrest, and her face was plastered across every news station in Los Angeles. Security footage from a nearby business had captured her fleeing the scene. Her past offenses, once hidden, now became part of the investigation. Authorities linked her to other suspicious events. The walls were closing in fast. Luna managed to contact a distant connection, someone from her past who had ties to the underworld. Using forged documents and a hidden stash of cash, she disappeared. Authorities believe she may have fled the country, possibly to South America or Eastern Europe, using underground routes. The trail has gone cold, but law enforcement remains on high alert, and a global warrant has been issued. Back in Los Angeles, the aftermath continues to unfold. Sheila remains in intensive care, her survival uncertain, but stable for now. Her act of selflessness has stunned everyone, even longtime enemies, who had written her off as beyond redemption. Electra, recovering from both physical shock and emotional trauma, has given multiple statements to the police, providing details of Luna's attack. She has also vowed to make sure that justice is served. Will, now aware of the full extent of Luna's obsession and darkness, has distanced himself entirely. His guilt over ever entertaining Luna's attention is consuming, and he has thrown himself into supporting Electra and shielding his family from further scandal. Ridge and Brooke, appalled by the violence and deception, have begun questioning how Luna was ever allowed to remain so close to their inner circle. Trust has been shattered. And as for Luna, wherever she is, she knows the chase has only just begun. Her obsession with Will, once her reason for everything, has now led her down a path of no return. She is a fugitive, a would-be murderer, and the cause of the most shocking betrayal in recent memory. Her name is now etched into the fabric of the bold and the beautiful, not as a love interest, not as a hopeful intern, but as a dangerous woman capable of anything. Next, we will learn about the whirlwind romance of Carter Walton and Hope Logan on The Bold and the Beautiful, diving deep into their unexpected engagement, the shadows of doubt lurking beneath their happiness, and the potential heartbreak that could shatter Carter's dreams at the altar. What seems like a fairy tale reunion might just be the prelude to an emotional storm, and we're here to unpack every juicy detail, explore hidden motivations, and speculate on the dramatic twists that could unfold in this iconic soap opera saga. First, let's set the stage with Carter and Hope's lightning-fast journey from reconciliation to engagement, a development that has left fans buzzing with excitement and suspicion alike. After a roller coaster of misunderstandings, betrayal, and tearful confessions, the couple has emerged seemingly stronger than ever, with a sparkling diamond ring sealing their commitment. But as their love story accelerates at breakneck speed, one can't help but wonder if this happiness is built on a shaky foundation. The rush of their reunion feels almost too perfect, as if the writers are crafting a deliberate illusion of bliss before pulling the rug out from under them. Could this be a setup for a devastating betrayal? Or are we simply witnessing a rare moment of true love triumphing over adversity? Let's not forget the whispers among fans that the pacing of their romance feels forced, almost as if an unseen hand is pushing them toward a climactic disaster. Rewinding to the root of their latest drama, a significant misunderstanding nearly tore Carter and Hope apart before they even had a chance to rebuild. Carter overheard a conversation between Hope and her ex-husband, Liam Spencer. During a particularly vulnerable moment tied to Liam's harrowing brain cancer diagnosis, a storyline that has tugged at everyone's heartstrings, Carter initially believed Hope was confessing lingering feelings for Liam. A heartbreaking notion that seemed plausible given the raw emotion in her voice as she spoke of not wanting to waste time on regrets. However, Hope quickly clarified that her words were meant to convey a renewed urgency to cherish her life with Carter, emphasizing that while she cares deeply for Liam as the father of her child, her heart belongs elsewhere. This explanation, delivered with tear-streaked conviction, managed to mend the rift, but a seed of doubt may still linger in Carter's mind. After all, history in the Forrester family is riddled with exes who return to claim their old flames, and Liam's health crisis could easily reignite old sparks if Hope's resolve wavers under pressure. Adding another layer of complexity to their fragile reunion is the shadow cast by Carter's brief dalliance with Daphne Rose, a mysterious and alluring figure whose sudden appearance in his life raised eyebrows. Hope stumbled upon evidence of a kiss between Carter and Daphne, a moment that threatened to unravel everything they had fought to rebuild. Carter, however, was quick to downplay the incident, swearing it held no significance and vowing eternal fidelity to Hope. He painted a picture of unwavering devotion, promising to stand by her side through every trial, including the emotional turmoil of Liam's illness. While his words dripped with sincerity, one wonders if Hope can truly erase the image of that kiss from her mind, or if it will haunt her in quiet moments, fueling insecurities about Carter's loyalty. Perhaps Daphne herself isn't done with Carter could she resurface as a scheming rival determined to win him back, adding a new villainous twist to this love triangle. Then came the jaw-dropping moment that no one saw coming, Carter's spontaneous proposal, mere minutes after their heartfelt reconciliation. With emotions still raw from their near breakup, Carter stunned Hope and viewers by pulling out a dazzling diamond ring, as if it had been waiting in his pocket for just the right moment. This raises a slew of intriguing questions about the ring's origins. Was Carter carrying it as a symbol of hope for their future, having planned this proposal long before their latest fallout? Or could this be a recycled token of a past love, perhaps once intended for Maya Avant or Paris Buckingham, to women who previously held Carter's heart? Unlike the ostentatious ring he once gave Zoe Buckingham, this piece seems more understated, yet its history remains a mystery that could resurface as a point of contention. Imagine the drama if Hope discovers the ring wasn't bought specifically for her will taint the magic of their engagement, making her question Carter's impulsiveness. Hope's initial reaction to the proposal was a cocktail of shock and hesitation, her wide-eyed expression betraying a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. She openly admitted to needing caution after their rocky history, and it was clear that saying yes wasn't an easy decision. Carter, ever the smooth talker, poured his heart out, painting a vision of a future filled with love and stability, until Hope finally relented. Yet, her acceptance felt tinged with reluctance, a far cry from the unbridled joy one might expect from such a moment. This hesitation isn't just a fleeting doubt, it might be a foreshadowing of deeper issues. Hope's trust in Carter has been battered by recent events, and her character has never been one to leap into life-altering decisions without careful thought. Her past with Thomas Forrester and Liam proves she values stability over spontaneity, making this quick engagement seem like a departure from her core values. Could this be the writers hinting that Hope's heart isn't fully in it, setting the stage for a gut-wrenching decision at the altar? Fast forward to the present, and the newly engaged couple is basking in their euphoria, eager to share their news with the world, or at least with the Forrester Creations family. Hope couldn't wait to flash her engagement ring, a symbol of their renewed bond, as she broke the news to Brooke Logan, Steffi Forrester, and Rich Forrester. Brooke, ever the doting mother, was over the moon, convinced that Carter is Hope's soulmate, destined to bring her the happiness she deserves after years of romantic turmoil. Her enthusiasm was a warm contrast to the cooler reception from Steffi and Ridge, who exchanged a knowing glance that spoke volumes. While Steffi is trying to support Hope, her guarded demeanor suggests a lingering unease, perhaps tied to the chaotic history of Carter and Hope's relationship and the infamous company takeover that once pitted them against the Forrester clan. Ridge, meanwhile, balances his role as Carter's best friend with his paternal concern for Hope, outwardly wishing them well but clearly harboring reservations about the speed and timing of this union. Could their skepticism be a warning sign? A subtle hint that this engagement is doomed to unravel under the weight of past sins and present doubts. As we speculate on the future of Carter and Hope, the specter of heartbreak looms large, particularly the devastating possibility that Hope might leave Carter at the altar. Such a twist would be a soap opera masterpiece, blending betrayal, regret, and raw emotion into a scene that would leave fans reeling. Perhaps Hope will realize, in a moment of stark clarity, that her lingering feelings for Liam or unresolved trust issues with Carter outweigh her desire to say I do. Alternatively, an external force fit Daphne's return, a shocking revelation about the ring, or a health update on Liam could push her to reconsider her commitment. Whatever the trigger, the fallout would be explosive, with Carter's heart shattered and Hope grappling with the consequences of her indecision. This potential storyline isn't just about drama. It's about exploring the depths of trust, forgiveness, and the courage to follow one's true path, themes that have always been at the core of the bold and the beautiful. In conclusion, while Carter Walton and Hope Logan are currently riding the high of their engagement, the road to their happily ever after is fraught with hidden pitfalls and unanswered questions. From the mystery of the ring to the ghosts of past relationships, every element of their story hints at a brewing storm. Will their love withstand the pressures of doubt and external interference, or are we on the cusp of witnessing one of the most heart-wrenching rejections in daytime TV history? Next, we will learn about the sizzling romantic entanglement that's setting the bold and the beautiful ablaze, as Will Spencer finds himself caught in a fiery love triangle between the enigmatic Electra and the fiercely determined Luna. This clash of hearts is messier than a Forrester family feud at Thanksgiving, with longing looks, calculated seductions, and enough drama to keep us glued to our screens. Join us as we dive into every sultry detail, uncover hidden motives, and speculate on who will ultimately claim Will's heart in this soap opera showdown for the ages. Let's kick things off with Will Spencer, the dashing heir whose heart is firmly set on the captivating Electra, a woman who has ignited a passion in him unlike any other. From the moment their eyes met, Will has been utterly spellbound, his every thought consumed by visions of a future with her. Whether it's the way he lingers on her every word or the extravagant gestures think surprise bouquets of rare orchids and whispered promises under the moonlight, Will is making it abundantly clear that he's all in. However, this isn't just a one-man pursuit. His intense desire for Electra is practically a public spectacle at Forrester Creations, with colleagues whispering about his infatuation during coffee breaks. But as much as Will yearns for her, the path to love is far from smooth, as another contender is ready to battle for his affections with ferocity. Could Will's single-minded devotion blind him to other possibilities, or is his heart truly locked on Electra, no matter the obstacles? Enter Electra, the object of Will's obsession, whose allure lies in her mysterious charm and hesitant demeanor, a combination that only fuels his desire. Unlike the typical soap opera vixen who might leap at the chance for romance, Electra is holding her cards close to her chest, unsure if she's ready to dive into the deep end with Will. Her coy smiles and fleeting touches during their encounters at the design studio hint at an attraction, but there's a wall around her heart, perhaps built from past heartbreaks or a fear of losing herself in someone so intense. She's the epitome of hard to get, and her subtle flirtations, like brushing past Will with a knowing glance during a late-night work session, seem to drive him to the brink of madness. Yet, this slow burn approach might be a double-edged sword. While it keeps Will hooked, it also leaves the door wide open for a rival to swoop in. Is Electra's reluctance a sign of genuine caution, or could she be playing a masterful game to ensure Will's devotion is unwavering before she commits? On the other side of this charged battlefield stands Luna, a woman whose hunger for Will is as undeniable as it is audacious, turning up the heat to levels that could melt the coldest heart. Luna isn't just interested on a mission. Her every move calculated to ensnare Will in her web of seduction. Picture this: skin-tight dresses that leave little to the imagination, accidental run-ins at every corner of Los Angeles, from the Forrester mansion to trendy bistros, and a barrage of flirty texts that border on scandalous, filled with suggestive emojis and late-night invitations. Luna's boldness knows no bounds. Rumor has it she even slipped a provocative note into Will's jacket pocket during a company event, whispering promises of a night he'd never forget. Her persistence is both mesmerizing and relentless, a stark contrast to Electra's reserved approach. But will her overt tactics win Will over? Or could they backfire, making her seem too desperate in the eyes of a man who thrives on the thrill of pursuit? As the sparks fly between these three, the tension is palpable, transforming every interaction into a potential battleground where claws are barely sheathed. Luna's aggressive play for Will's attention isn't just about romance. It's a full-on campaign, with whispers circulating that she's willing to cross moral lines to get what she wants. Sources close to the Forrester inner circle suggest Luna might be digging into Electra's past, hoping to unearth a scandal or secret that could discredit her rival and clear her path to Will. Think hidden ex-lovers or a long-buried family feud that could paint Electra in a less flattering light. Meanwhile, Electra's strategy remains rooted in subtlety, using her understated elegance to keep Will intrigued, often catching his eye with a lingering gaze during boardroom meetings or a soft laugh at his jokes over cocktails. Yet, there's a ticking clock on her indecision. Will she realize too late that Luna's bold moves are gaining traction, potentially stealing Will away before she's ready to stake her claim? The stakes of this love triangle couldn't be higher, as each player brings a unique dynamic to the table, leaving us to wonder how Will's heart will ultimately decide. Could Electra's hesitation push Will into Luna's eager embrace, especially if Luna ramps up her charm with a grand gesture, like orchestrating a private rooftop dinner under the stars at a swanky LA hotel? Or might Luna's thirst for victory repel Will, who seems to crave the unattainable, finding her overzealous pursuit more off-putting than alluring? And let's not overlook a wild-card possibility. What if Will's fixation on Electra is less about love and more about the challenge of winning her over? If the chase is what fuels his passion, capturing Electra's heart might leave him unsatisfied, opening the door for Luna to swoop in as a rebounder, even for a completely new player to enter the game. The psychological layers of Will's desires add a delicious complexity to this drama, making every outcome a thrilling possibility. To elevate this steamy saga to true soap opera heights, imagine a climactic event that forces all cards on the table, a soapy smackdown at a lavish Forrester gala, dripping with glamour and unspoken rivalries. Picture the scene: a glittering ballroom adorned with crystal chandeliers, the air thick with anticipation as both Electra and Luna arrive in breathtaking gowns that scream "pick me." Electra might opt for a sleek, sapphire blue dress that accentuates her enigmatic allure, while Luna chooses a daring crimson number with a plunging neckline embodying her fiery determination. As Will stands at the center of the room, glass of champagne in hand, the moment of truth looms. Will he approach for the first dance, a gesture that could signal his heart's direction? Will it be Electra, whose subtle nod from across the room draws him in, or Luna, who boldly steps forward with a seductive smile? This kind of high-stakes drama, complete with jealous glares and hushed whispers from the Forrester family, is the chaos we live for, promising a night that could shift the entire trajectory of this love triangle. As we watch this war of hearts unfold, one thing is certain: someone will emerge victorious, claiming Will Spencer's affection, while another may be left nursing a wounded pride or plotting a vengeful comeback. Will it be Electra, whose slow and steady approach finally wins out, proving that true love requires patience and mystery? Or will Luna's relentless pursuit pay off, securing her place by Will's side through sheer determination and unapologetic desire? And let's not discount the chance of a shocking twist. Perhaps Will, overwhelmed by the intensity of both women, chooses neither, opting for solitude or a surprise third option. Maybe a childhood sweetheart who re-enters his life at the 11th hour. The possibilities are endless, and each episode promises new revelations that could turn the tide in this captivating conflict. In wrapping up, the battle for Will Spencer's heart on the bold and the beautiful is a masterclass in soap opera intrigue, blending raw emotion with strategic seduction in a way that keeps us hooked. From Electra's tantalizing restraint to Luna's brazen ambition and Will's own unpredictable desires, this triangle is a powder keg waiting to explode. Will love triumph in the form of a fairy tale ending, or are we in for a heartbreaking betrayal under the bright lights of that gala ballroom? Stay tuned with us at B&B Spoilers channel as we track every smoldering glance and calculated move, eager to see who walks away with the ultimate prize. Who do you think should choose Electra, Luna, or someone entirely unexpected? Drop your predictions in the comments, and we'll catch you in our next deep dive into the drama.